Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into today's webinar where we're going to be covering how you can leverage your Pages Manager. So as you already know, we have our new homepage feature and we can edit this page to direct our buyers to certain products with a new order, and we do that by adding an image and then attaching our URL to that image. What we're going to be covering today is how we can build out that homepage and then also how we can take advantage of our new feature, which is the Pages Manager. So I'm here in one of our women's demo sites, and I'm clicked here on the home page. So what we have here is our home page, but it has not yet been built out. Our featured line sheets are going to pull automatically, so that's why we see our active line sheets here populating on the bottom of the page. So when I click on edit mode, I can update this page by adding what we call a widget. When I click add widget, I have the choice to either include a line sheet or I can add media. So that would be an image or a video. Since we're already looping in our line sheets through the bottom of this page, because that's toggled on, I'm going to select media. So what I'll be showing you first is how to build out your default homepage. So this is the first page that the buyer sees when they log in. It's also the first page that you see when you log in. Once we have this built out, I'll show you the Pages Manager section of the homepage and how we can use that. So here, I like to start with a logo. So the idea here is you want to mimic your e-com site. So here we have our new order logo. I'm not going to add a title right now, but I could add text. Maybe I wanted to link this image to our e-com site. I could do that. And then we also have the width. So the width is the size of the image. So 100% is going to be a banner image. And then we can also add 50%, 25, 1/3, and 2/3. So I could have two 50s sitting next to each other. I could have a 25%, 4 times, or I could mix and match with my different widths. So for this example, I'm going to keep it at 100, and I'm going to go ahead and save it. So now we have our logo at the top of the page. So I like to see when brands are mimicking what they have on their e-com site, and that's going to make it easier for the buyer to be directed to certain pages with a new order. So what I'm going to add next is an image where the buyer is directed to the product gallery. So in this case, I'm going to link it to our products page. So I already have our browse products selected. I'm going to copy this URL and paste that here. And then since I already have text in the image, I can leave this blank. And I don't want it to be a banner image, but I'm going to be adding 3 images. So I'm going to choose 1/3 because all 3 will sit next to each other. Okay, so now we have view all products, and if the buyer clicks on it, they're brought straight to the product gallery. I find it's a little easier when you're building this out to keep multiple browsers open with your new order page. That way you don't have to keep going back and forth, copying and pasting the URL and going back to your homepage. So that's why it was so easy to just click on the next tab. So the next widget I'm going to add, it's still media, and now I'm going to add an image for line sheets. So I already have that tab pulled up as well. So I'll copy this URL. And I'll go back to my home page, paste my URL here. I'm still going to choose that 1/3 because as I mentioned earlier, we're going to have 3. And I'll press save. And then the last one I'm going to add is also going to be media, and it's going to be for our media gallery. So that's that last tab I have open here. So we'll copy our URL, paste it, choose 1/3 for width, and save. So now when my buyer logs in, they see my logo, they're directed to our product gallery, they're directed to line sheets, they're directed to our media gallery. And then now I'm going to get into some categories. So I'm going to add media for dresses. And I'm going to keep that at 100% because I want to highlight our dresses. I'm not going to add a URL yet. That's because that's where our Pages Manager option comes into play. So instead of just adding a URL for all dresses in the product gallery, I could do that. But what I'm going to do instead is create one full page for dresses. So for right now, I'm going to leave the URL blank. I'll press save. So we have dresses. And then the other page we're going to add is tops. So I will drag and drop our tops. I'm also going to keep it at 100% and leave the URL blank for right now. So I'll go ahead and save. Okay. So when I unclick edit mode, you'll see that this is what the page is looking like so far. So we have our logo. We're directing our buyers to certain pages with a new order by clicking view all products. They'll be brought to the product gallery because that's what we linked. And same with line sheets and media gallery. It's going to link to those respective pages because that's what we copied and pasted for the URL. So we have this initial page built out. But now what I want to do is I want to create an entire home page for dresses. And I want to create an entire home page for tops. So instead of just having one page, I can have multiple, but they're linked to each other. So when I'm in edit mode, you'll notice that we have this new option here called Pages Manager. So I'm going to click on that. So right now our default home page is clicked on. So that is the first page that the buyer sees when they log in. So that's why we see this turquoise bubble highlighted right here. So we now want to have multiple pages, and those pages are going to be linked to that default page. So when you're creating a new page, so as you are building out your home page, you'll just click Create New Page, and you'll title it. Then what we have here is our new page. So I'm going to click on our dresses page. So we already have this built out, but you would add content here the same way that you would that I showed you earlier. Add your widget. If it's a line sheet, you can select. Or if it's media, it's just a drag and drop of an image or a video file, and then you can paste the URL and press save. So this page has already been created for us. So how do I link this page to my default homepage, the one that we created with the logo and the shop products, the line sheets, and the media gallery? How do I link this page to my image that said shop dresses? I will copy this URL. This is my URL for my dresses homepage. I'm going to copy it. I'll go back to my home. I'm still in edit mode. Here I have dresses. I'll edit this. Now I can paste the URL and save. So when I do that, the buyer, when they click, which I'll show you now, when the buyer clicks on dresses, they're now brought to an entire homepage that's dedicated dresses. So we're seeing our new arrivals, we see ATS, we see our pre-book styles. So instead of just having one homepage, we can now have multiple, and we link it to our default. So now we need to link our other page, which is tops. So I'll go to edit mode. I'll go back to Pages Manager. Again, when you're creating this and you're starting from scratch, you'll want to click Create New Page. But since we already have it created, click on Tops. And again, this is a URL that I'm going to copy. So I copy the entire URL for this page. And I'm going to go back to Home. Here's my default. I'm still in Edit. I will go to my Tops and paste that URL and save it. So when I click on Tops, I'm brought to an entire homepage of tops, and similar to dresses, I can shop ATS, I can shop pre-book, I can shop by category. So these are all clickable. So if I go to edit mode and I go back into my Pages Manager, what we see here is our default. So this is our home page that we see when we first log in. And then we have our other pages. How we linked the tops and the dresses pages to images in our default is just by copying and pasting the URL here. So that's how you can have multiple pages and they link to each other. So in this case, it was a women's brand, and we had two categories, dresses and tops. Other examples would be any brand that has multiple departments. So men's, women's, kids, accessories, footwear. Each of these categories or departments could have their own page, and then you'll create a default homepage and link each of those pages to the default. So if you have multiple departments and you don't want to have one huge homepage here, what you'll do is you'll create separate pages for each of those departments and then link it back here to our default. So this new feature is available for you now. Should you have any questions on how to get started or how to build this out, please reach out to your account manager or our wonderful support team at heroes@neworder.com. Thanks so much and have a great day.